In Lesson 8.6, you're going to be reviewing inequalities. And up until this point, you're probably familiar with the inequalities, but now we're going to be graphing them. And so you need to know a couple of things. First of all, you're going to be writing inequalities, and then you're going to be graphing them on a number line. And on your sheet for your notebook, you have a little chart there to fill in. And let me just go through those really quickly. So for this guy right here, you should know that it's less than. And when you're graphing that on a number line, you're going to use an open circle and you're going to use an arrow to the left. Okay? And so on the table on your note sheet, you should have the name of the inequality, which is less than, and then open or closed, it would be open, and then this would be the graph. Okay? And for greater than, go ahead and fill in the words greater than for the name of the inequality. That's going to be an open circle, and that's going to be an open circle with an arrow going to the right. This will all make sense when we graph a few of these together. The next one on your graph is a less than or equal to. Please write in less than or equal to. That will be a closed circle, and that's going to be a filled in circle or a closed circle with an arrow going to the left. The next one on your chart is a greater than or equal to sign, and that is also going to be a closed circle, closed or filled in circle with an arrow going to the right. And then finally, this is the not equal to sign. That's actually going to be an open circle, and it's going to look something like this. An open circle meaning that's not one of the answers, but everything to the right and to the left is an answer. Okay, so for example, if I said x is not equal to 5, well, the 5 would be where the open circle is, meaning x is not equal to 5, but x could be anything but 5, meaning a left and a right arrow in both directions. So we'll take a look at those more as we solve some inequalities. For example 1, we're just writing inequalities from words. So for 1a, Amelia sold more than 40 magazines. If you want to put M for magazines or X for magazines, I don't care what variable you use, but she sold more than 40. So M is greater than 40. For 1b, Gino sent less than 35 texts yesterday. So his texts, T, were less than 35. Okay? Just so you know, you could also write this as 40 is less than M, or 35 is greater than T. Sometimes those are flipped around. Just know that you can do that. Okay? Going on to page 362, at the top of the page, example 2 is giving you that concept summary, and there's a few words there to pay attention to when you're looking at translating words into equations or inequalities. So for example 2, and it's wanting us to write an inequality, and then it doesn't say to solve it, so that's okay. For 2, a student must have at least 10 hours of instructor-assisted driving to pass the course. Write an inequality to describe that situation. So again, it doesn't matter what variable you use. I might just put D for driving time. Has to be at least 10 hours. It has to be greater than or equal to 10. So that's where the words from up above will help you understand which inequality to use. So greater than or equal to would be at least. Okay, right here, at least. Scrolling down to example 3, it's wanting us to take the value of the variable and plug it in and see whether or not that makes the inequality true. So for the bottom down here, x is equal to 6, let's put that into the inequality and see if it's true. Does 3.9 plus 6 yield a result that's less than or equal to 12? 3.9 plus 6 is 9.9, and 9.9 is greater than or equal to 12, so that is true. Okay? For the second one here, y is 4/3. 4/3 minus 1/3 is 2/3, and 2/3 is less than 1, so both of those are true. Okay? Actually, it says that one is false. 4/3, wow, 4/3 minus 1/3 is 3/3. 3/3 is equal to 1. 1 is not less than 1, so that is false. Sorry about that. On the top of page 363, you have the number lines that I talked about. So when you're graphing an inequality, it's important to know whether you use an open or a closed circle. We talked about that. If it's a less than or greater than sign, we're going to use an open circle. And if it's a less than or equal to and greater than or equal to, it's going to be a closed circle. And then depending on the direction of the arrow, that's the way we're going to put the arrow on the number line. So let's take a look at x is less than 5. Okay, so on your number line, on your note sheet, you have a number line there. All you have to do is find the number 5 and put an open circle there. Sometimes kids like to go up and to the left to show that arrow, because sometimes when you write the arrow right on the line, it's hard to see. I will accept either one. For x is greater than or equal to -2, find that -2 on your number line. Fill in the dot because x could be greater than or equal to. Okay, and greater than is going to be to the right. And finally, x is greater than 0. There's 0. It's going to be an open circle, and then any number to the right will work. So make sure you fill those in on your graphs on your note sheet. Finally, number 5, we have some graphs already filled in. It's a filled in circle and the arrows to the right. So that's going to be our greater than or equal to sign. And then the number is -3. So we just put that down there. The answer is x is greater than or equal to -3. We have an open circle with an arrow to the left. That's just going to be a less than sign. And the open circle is at the number -2. So our inequality is x is less than -2. We could say -2 is greater than x. Either one would be fine. Hopefully that gets you enough going on inequalities to write those. And in the next lesson, we'll be solving inequalities.